Welcome to the Canadian Real Estate Marketing Podcast. Listen each week to explore ideas and tactics that real estate agents can use to get more clients and make more money. Here are your hosts, Paul Poulsen and Val Labrecque.
I'm Paul Poulsen.
I'm Val Labrecque.
And this is the Canadian Real Estate Marketing Podcast, Episode 1. What are we talking about today, Val?
We are talking about how long should a real estate video be. So, how long should a real estate video be?
Well, you hear that they should be a minute, they should be 2 minutes, they should be 5 minutes. Everybody seems to have a number about how long is too long.
Everybody's attention span is so short, and so then it should be a short video.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a video needs to be as long as it needs to be. When we go to see a movie at the movie theater, we don't say, is this movie only 15 minutes long?
It's like 2.5 hours long, and people sit there and watch it.
If Iron Man is entertaining, you watch Robert Downey Jr. for 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't care. Same as a book. Okay,
so I heard you say entertaining. So you have to capture the viewer's attention,
I think,
keep them engaged.
Yeah, I think it needs to provide value. You know, in this context, we're watching a real estate video. We want the real estate video to answer questions. And what kind of questions would a person have about a house?
Well, everything about the house.
That's right.
Square feet, size, layout.
Bedrooms, amenities, what's in the neighborhood? Is there condo fees? What's included in condo fees? All those kinds of things. I think if you have a small 1-bedroom condo, it's probably a pretty short video.
2.5 minutes maybe?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot to explain. But then if all of a sudden you're talking a 5,000 square foot house with 8 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms and a bunch of outbuildings and a swimming pool, pretty tough to shove that into 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 5.5, 6 minutes.
That's the really important thing, is that it either needs to entertain, it needs to inform, or it just needs to provide value in some way, shape, or form. You'll have a very attentive audience watching real estate video. If you're not interested in comic book movies, then any length of an Iron Man movie is too long. But that audience that wants to go see that movie, they'll stay and pay attention to it for hours. And it's the same as the real estate video. If you're interested in buying a house in that neighborhood, that property type, you'll watch it. Yeah. You want to know about it. Yeah. But if you're thinking you want to buy a car and instead somebody says, here, watch this real estate tour, you're not going to watch it for more than 10 seconds.
Well, and at the same time, as long as, the video is on point with all those things, that you're moving it along.
That's right.
You're showing different aspects of the home.
That's right.
It's not like beauty shots of like fuzzy garden, like showing one flower. Like you have to show the wholeness of the place. And
that's right.
Sure, you can have little spots here or there where you focus on an area, but more it's about the grandness of the whole home.
That's right. Yeah, I think it's adding context to the home. If we're talking about a kitchen that has a lot of space, then I think that we need to see that there's lots of counter space and lots of cabinets, but I don't think that we're necessarily concerned about close-up after close-up of the tile backsplash.
Yeah.
If the tile backsplash is something special, you definitely want to show it, but you don't want to linger on it.
Yeah.
You don't want to linger on furniture, because typically furniture is not something that's going to stay with the home.
Yeah.
So even if the kitchen table is beautiful, probably not going to stay.
Yeah, even like little knick-knacky things. Like I guess at the kitchen table, people might focus on, there's a candle at the corner of the desk there. That looks nice. Who freaking cares? Yeah,
you're not buying the candle.
Yeah.
Right? Something else that I see, or actually that I don't see in a lot of videos, are amenities.
Oh, yeah. So okay, give me an example here.
Well, that you would say, you're right across the street from the best school in the neighborhood. And then I don't get to see the school.
Yeah, show the school.
Just show it.
Talking about the school, show it.
And even better, go stand out in the street, and on one side of the frame, show there's the house, and on the other side of the frame, show there's the school.
Yeah.
So for those kinds of things, I think you have to make time in the video.
Oh, and don't do a 2-minute video of the roof of the home, like dronage, aerial footage, just the whole time. There's only so much of a roof you want to see of a yard. And often drone footage is not even needed. It's like, and if it is needed, it might just be 5 seconds here and there. Like estate property, yeah, sure. But a lot of other places, you just don't need it. Yeah,
I agree. The drone is nice for an establishing shot.
Yeah.
Like Val's saying, if you're beachfront, you have a big farm, lots of acreage, something like that, a static shot from the ground maybe doesn't do a great job of showing it, then I think, a drone is an excellent tool. But I also think that it's not the end all be all. I think you can have a 4 or a 5 minute video tour that is engaging and it entertains an audience and they watch it and it's answering their questions. But a 90-second tour that's only exteriors or only wide drone shots, it gets pretty old pretty fast. I like to use the same inverted pyramid that a newspaper reporter would use.
What are you talking about?
So when you read a newspaper article, it's supposed to start with the most important information at the top of the story, and it works down to more detail as it goes on.
Okay.
So for example, the idea is that if you only read the headline, you get the most important part of that story. That's all you read are those 4 or 5 words, you get what's happened. And then the lead does a better job expanding on that idea, and as you work your way through, it gets to the more minute details. So if you read the whole story, you get the full story. But if you only read a portion of it, you got the important bits.
Okay.
So I follow that same template when I make a video, is that I want to show the exterior of the home because that's the first thing people are going to see. And then I kind of want a greatest hits package of, what are the highlights of the home? It's got a really nice kitchen, a great view. Is the location really good? I want to hit you with 5 or 6 of those shots. And then I move into the tour.
Nice. Mm-hmm. All right. And so then your tour, what does a tour look like? You're walking through the home. It's a walk-through, first-person narrated video tour.
That's right.
And as you're walking through the home, you're talking about the home and the features and the benefits.
Right. And then wrap it up with a little more B-roll at the end. And then
what's B-roll?
It's just beauty shots.
Yep.
Right? So if we say it's got a really nice kitchen, then you see a nice little, 3, 4, 5 second panning shot of a nice kitchen. If it's got a nice view, then we go out on the deck and you get 5 seconds of the view. So then we fill that in with B-roll at the end and we just summarize the home, why it's great. And then we want a call to action where we tell the viewer, phone the realtor, make an appointment to see the home, come to the open house this weekend, whatever it is that our client, the realtor, wants a buyer to do. And then finish with some branding again.
Very good.
Yeah.
And a little bit of just kind of baseline music, very not competing, but just
we want music throughout it. Just
sound effects, love it. Sound design. Yeah. Do your birds when you're in the backyard. You ocean sounds, ocean for a property. You need to hear the ocean. You got to touch those senses.
I agree. Yeah. It just adds a lot. It really fills out a video. And when we're talking about a boring video, it's those kinds of details that are missing. It's plain footage without a lot of movement over something like some kind of plain free music that you're getting from an audio library. It's classical music or it's just very generic, and that's all the video is. But if we can have dynamic movement in the video where we're moving in and out of rooms or side to side or walking through and turning around and seeing, where we're revealing things, and have audio that suits the video, it moves it along. If it's a little more upbeat, it's exciting, we're having a fun time walking through the house, and it matches. And then filling in gaps with sound effects where we say you can go into the garden and hear birds, and you hear the birds, and when you say you're just steps to the beach and then you can hear the ocean, it does make a longer video seem much shorter. It does engage an audience. And
you really need that narrative of somebody talking through and talking about the home. It's your chance to talk to the person, to sell them on the home, to explain about the home. And so to have like 3 minutes of just music and not talking to your audience. You're selling yourself short. Your audience is giving you permission to sell to them for 3 minutes. And if you're an agent worth his or her salt and somebody says, you've got 3 minutes to convince me to buy this house, and you only talk for 10 seconds. Yeah, there you go. Not a great use of your time, not a great use of the resource that person is allowing you to have. Now you know how long a real estate video should be. It needs to be as long as it needs to be. Don't make it shorter, make it better. If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with someone else that might feel the same way. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and review the podcast. We're Val Labrecque and Paul Poulsen, and this has been the Canadian Real Estate Marketing Podcast.